I'm pleasantly surprised by this book on human levitation. Focus. You gonna focus? Nope. A True History and How-To Guide by. It turns out this guy is a MUFON, Mutual UFO Network investigator on the west coast of the U.S., and all of his books are published out of the UK, which is kind of interesting. And he's got an actual photo of a Japanese Kundalini yoga master levitating. I don't know. Apparently the guys started training in yoga from a young age, 12, and then began levitating. So, it's possible this is real deal. And there's a lot. There's also the photo of poltergeist levitation. They set up a camera in a room, remote camera. And he doesn't mention Daniel, the most famous poltergeist guy. I have his book. Brian Josephson recommended it. Daniel, he sends out emails too. I get his emails. I think he levitated also. I can't remember his last name at the moment. And here's somebody else. But he also says that Joseph de Cupertino had, so that looks like they're just jumping, had 90 witnesses of Joseph Cupertino levitating. And a lot of them were people, against Cupertino. So, this is a well-researched book. It really is. He did a good job. There we go. Human levitation. Oh. No, the camera's not focusing. He has like half a dozen UFO books claiming, that ET aliens are real based on people's testimonials. And I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to. The book reviews on Amazon are pretty critical. They're like, why would you believe this person? But on the other hand, it's hard for people to believe in levitation. But Trini Lin said he levitated up 9 feet right after he finished his cave meditation of 28 days of non-stop full lotus cave meditation. So, and I know Trini Lin's the real deal, and so he's corroborated by the Mayo Clinic doctors researching him and backing him up, promoting him, and so that makes me think that this is probably real also, because the guy's in Is he in full lotus? I can't tell. Let me see. He should be in full lotus. Kind of hard to tell. I'm guessing he's in full lotus. But of course, this author doesn't really go into he says it's a how-to guide, but he doesn't really go into the how-to very much at all. He just says it's internal, it's also magnetic, electromagnetic, along with gravitational. And my claim, of course, is that the non-commutativity explains anti-gravity as levitation. And I might be submitting to make a presentation to make this case in terms of physics, but the problem is it's an engineering conference, and levitation is not really engineering. It's not, an off-the-shelf technology. You can see he's got a lot of different endnotes, but some of these notes are repeated. An appendix. Endnotes. He's got 514 endnotes. That's impressive. And an appendix of all known levitators. And he's got all known. He's got 333 people listed in here, so that's impressive also. I bet he's missing Michael Manning. Pretty sure he levitated also. And then he cites William Crookes, who published an article on levitation. Here we go, 1875. William Crookes published a list of 40 levitating saints in the Quarterly Journal of Science, of which he was the editor. Originally a skeptic, he was able to draw solid conclusions about the nature of levitation. And extreme fasting, great asceticism. See, that's what Chen Yilin was fasting for 28 days. Loss of consciousness. Well, that's the secret, is the samadhi. Anyway, so that was a big scandal when William Crookes claimed that levitation was real. Caused an uproar in English society. So, another funny thing about this book is the margins. There's very slim margins, which means they were trying to save money, on the printing costs. And I can this is actually out of Pennsylvania. Okay. I thought the publisher was based in the UK. Yeah. It's distributed in England. Okay. It's in Pennsylvania. Yeah, so you can see he's got a lot of paranormal stuff, but he also has like half a dozen UFO books. And I'm really impressed. I mean, he did a good job if you're gonna write a book on levitation. He doesn't go into Cupertino in detail, and he does not cite Michael Grosso's 2 books on Joseph Cupertino. So I guess he didn't read them. But maybe this book came out in 2007, so it was probably before Michael Grosso's books were published on Cupertino. But he does have quite a bit on Daniel Home, and I'm guessing he cites Professor Broad's book on Daniel Home. Professor Broad, I read that book on Daniel Home back around 2001. Soon after my own intensive meditation experience. So I believe in levitation just based on my own meditation training. And he's not mentioning William Broad's book. He doesn't. So anyway, here we got an alphabetical source list. Yeah, he does not cite William Broad's, or what is it? Stephen Broad. So he's missing Stephen Broad. He's missing Michael Grosso. But other than that, he did an excellent job. He's missing Fra Archun Moon's biography. The biography of Fra Archun Moon describes levitation also. And I consider that to be a very well-written biography. And that's where he gets into the samadhi training that he had to do. And essentially, I rely on the quantum Zeno effect to explain the different levels of samadhi. But basically, you have to maintain this quantum Zeno effect to be conscious while you're levitating, which I would compare to be nirvikalpi samadhi. In terms of yoga, and you have to maintain that visualization level, which is a right brain dominant. So if you have any thoughts, you're going to stop levitating, but you can maintain a visualization, focus, or like the quantum Zeno effect, you have to have a higher rate, a higher frequency than the collapse of the wave function. And anyway, it's a fascinating book. He talks about how some people were lifted up off the ground when they held onto the person levitating. And this happened with Saint Joseph de Cupertino, that he lifted somebody else off the ground with him when he levitated. And so this book's definitely worth reading word for word. I look forward to doing that. I'm behind in my reading, obviously. I'm always have books to read, but I like reading, but I'm usually on the computer nowadays. So I do most of my reading on the computer. There we go. Joseph de Cupertino. 92 witnesses and their credibility. The popes, dukes, priests, and nuns makes the case particularly hard to dismiss. Also, the fact that the witnesses were under oath makes their testimonies even more credible. So he's got this list of prominent levitators. The 10 best cases of levitation. So, yeah. And then he says, is it external or internal? And he's basically like, it's internal. And then he says, many people levitating actually emit light. And that's where I would get into the light, that it's actually based on the secret gravitational mass of light being negative frequency, as from virtual photons. Okay, thank you very much.